Okay, so to get a little chunk of data for whatever use you might want to have it, but maybe it's you want to get a little chunk of data before you make a more bigger, broader request or a time series request, or it is actually just a small bit of data that you want. Let's put in a single request. So here you have your requests page. This lists all your requests. You can explore it later on. But if you want to add a request, let's go add detailed request. There's also add time series, which is a topic for another day. That's multiple requests over time. But let's just go to add detailed request. Give it a name, which you can call whatever you like. You can make some notes to yourself. Keep the priority as medium. I'm going to just type in M31 to search for the object. Uh, there's other objects that are not sidereal, which we'll talk about at a different stage. So just leave these the same. If you search by object, it will fill the Aladdin window here with the object that you searched for. But you can see if I scroll around in the Aladdin window, the RA and DEC over here is changing. So by where you put this crosshair in here is where you're going to point the telescope, wherever it is. Now you might be used to the hub where you use specific telescopes. Here, you're asking the whole network. So there's not really a field of view here at the moment um, because across the network, all of the telescopes have different fields of view. Okay, and this thing here is a visibility curve. You may have seen it. It's like how high is the object over time. So you might have seen this on a page of the telescope where you have numbers from 0, which is at the horizon, to 90, which is straight up, and then time, so the clock time. But here you notice there's no values. So this is a network-wide visibility chart. Um, so it's not for a particular time and not for a particular place, but objects in the night sky rise and set at the same time of night uh, across the world, at least across the longitudes. Where you are in latitude will change that a bit, and whether you can see it at all, perhaps. But the general overall is this object available in the night during the season. It's kind of described by this plot. And because we have telescopes in the north and the south, someone somewhere will be able to see the object if it's in the night sky. So that's what that visibility chart is. There's the Aladdin. Window is, try between window start and window end. And a week is a good time to put in because you're pretty much guaranteed to get a straightforward observation back in that time. So at the moment there's lightning storms and just general rain in New Mexico, and here in Australia, in Melbourne, we're having winter storms, which is fantastic. So different sites will have different weather. California is pretty clear, and so from day to day, some observatories will be available and some will not. And so you give it a bit of a window to see where it can fit in, and it'll figure it out for you. So it's just saying which area of time are we looking at? Do we want to try and observe? Underneath, we have mosaic. So a mosaic, if we zoom out, will put a box on the graph and allow you to kind of think about uh, how you might want to. So telescopes can stitch lots of different images together, and this box here is just showing you uh, you're asking for an image this big. I would leave this off for the time being because if you're doing mosaic, you use a lot more telescope time, so just leave it off. Just wanted to show you that there. These defaults here, I would leave them alone, but just quickly, you want objects to be a certain height above the horizon so that you're not looking through too much air. The moon, you will want generally a fair distance away from your object. This acceptable moonlight and sky brightness, if you're doing just stellar photometry, it's not such a real big deal. But if you're looking at faint nebula, you might want the sky to be dimmer and moon to be out of the sky, basically. So that's what those sliders are. You also might want something that's a particular resolution, like some cameras are low resolution and others are high resolution. How big is the field of view? What's the focus like? and if then you can actually just set specific telescopes you want to observe with in this thing here. But these defaults are generally fine for general stellar astronomy. These defaults are also generally fine. You can save it straight to your user space rather than go to the archive. Don't click this one unless you own an observatory, because it won't go to you. Whether you need high-res images, whether you want your images to be smaller. So if you're just looking at a single star, you might not just want the full field of view, just the center 30 arc minutes, which is a rough average size that you need to have enough comparison stars for photometry. And if you take heaps of short exposures, it can stack the image set down so you don't have thousands of exposures, and make a color image when possible. So here you've got your exposures. Smart Stack On is good, generally speaking. If you don't know what it is, there will be another video about that. Generally, defaults are fine. Add in the exposures you want to try. You will probably want to use, if you're doing photometry, you want to use broadband. But if you're just getting a pretty picture, blue, green, and red. Get a blue, get a green, get a red, it'll make a color picture. If you're doing exoplanet stuff, you'll probably want to try an exo filter. They're the best ones. There are some on the network, which is a filter that just lets red light through. The next best one is probably RP, or the next one that most people commonly use is RP, which is SDSSR. But if you're doing stellar astronomy, you might want blue, BB, V, the standard V filter, RP, and IP. That usually gives you a coverage across the stellar filters. And then down here, depending on what tokens, what networks you're connected to, you submit it to your network. So if I submit this to the network, oh, okay, fair enough. It will give you an estimate of what it's going to reserve for you, and then you can press OK. If you have multiple groups that you want to, multiple accounts where you have different Next tokens, you can select from which group that you want to look at. There we go. And now it is in your requests, and it is waiting for the best available telescope. That's how you submit a single detailed request, very simply.